Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be talking about fig pie. And I would recommend anyone who's going to do some serious gathering to use this food. I'm going to show you what it does for a buff. Chance of obtaining resources by gathering plus 3%. That is somewhat huge for me because when I'm doing my gathering, I have noticed that if I'm using the fig pie consumable that lasts for 60 minutes, I see epic RNG drops. I get a lot of stuff. When I'm going out to get what I'm looking for, like I'm going to get rough stone, I not only get like 4 at a time, but I also get all sorts of other things for that effort. So I'm going to recommend this for you. It lasts for 60 minutes. But that also means that for the last 30 minutes, because it's only got a 30-minute cooldown, that you can double up with the grain soup. So the last 30 minutes you can do the grain soup will get you speed. To make the fig pie, you have to have an apprentice level 1 or higher in cooking. And then after professional 1 level, you can RNG the sweet fig pie. You're still going to RNG the cooking drops, like the poorly prepared dishes. Those are the things you'll still RNG. But after professional 1, you'll start getting the sweet fig pie. This is somewhat complicated to make, but it's really simple. I mean, it's a couple steps. I should say it's complicated because there's a few steps involved. So here, it tells you, this person's telling you what it costs to make. 5 fig, 3 dough, 3 sugar, 2 olive oil. Now, you can get the olive oil and the sugar in the same place that you can get the cooking utensil. I mean, the sugar and the olive oil are a vendor buy, and you can buy those in the same location. I'm going to hit the M key, and in Heidel, that's this tavern right here. If you go into this tavern, then you'll be able to find that guy that will sell you those 2 components. Now, the fig is a little different. That's what's going to be a little complicated. You need to go all the way up here to this town here. If you come to this town, you'll be able to get a worker to work for you without needing lodging. You can get 1 worker, bring some silver with you, hire a worker, and that worker will come out of this town. Then what you want to do is, once you get that worker, you're going to need to invest 6 contribution points. This is the town. There's a node right out here. You'll have to invest 3 contributions in the global node. And then you got to spend 3 contributions for the actual fig node. There you go. So I've got a worker, a professional goblin, working this for me. And that's all this goblin's doing, is going back and forth to this location, to this town, filling up the warehouse. Now, I just made a trip all the way up here to get the items, and it took 20 minutes. Got on my horse, auto-pathed it from Heidel, picked up, I think it was like 1,300 of them, and then I just auto-pathed it back to Heidel once I picked them up. So here I am, I'm in Heidel, and I took 1,000 and put 1,000 in my inventory, or I had just done a few before I started this video. Then you're going to ask yourself is, how do I get the wheat? Well, or the dough. Now, any product that you can make beer, like corn, barley, wheat, those kind of things, you can do the grinding. Let me go with the L command here so you can see. You do the grinding on the wheat, and then you grind the wheat into flour. Then what you do is you take the flour and you go to shaking, and you add 1 mineral water in 1 flour, and just click the mineral water, then click the wheat flour. That will auto-populate, and you hit start, and then you'll make the dough. So there's a couple steps involved here, because you've got to make the dough, or you can buy the dough. But I mean, the dough's not hard to, get somebody to work a wheat node or a barley node or a corn node for you, and then just grind them down. I mean, it's not really that hard to do. It's just an extra step. It's an extra time allotment to make this happen, because you got to go get the fig from the node guy or the warehouse and bring it all the way down here. So there's some time invested in this, but it's worth it because the buff that you get from this food is very good. That 3% makes a big difference. So what I've done is I've got my cooking uniform on, and I'm going to load. And I actually took one of these suet teas. And I'm going to hit the R command here, and it's 5 fig, 3 and 3, so it's 3 dough and 3 sugar, just regular sugar, not raw sugar, just regular sugar, and then 2 olive oil. And again, the dough you can make yourself. You know, you do that by how I just explained it. The sugar you buy from the vendor, the olive oil you buy from the vendor. So the only 2 big components is these 2. Now I imagine you could buy the figs right off the auction house. I don't know what they cost, but for 6 contribution you can get them yourself. And that's the route that I ended up going. So you go continuous, say yes, say maximum, and say okay. And here I will just sit here until I've exhausted either the bench or until I run out of ingredients. And I believe for this bench it's 1,000 ingredients. So what I already did some already, and so there you go. I RNG'd the sweet pie. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's the grain. Like I said, the grain soup. That because the fig pie's got a 30-minute cool down. Once that's down, I could take the grain soup for gathering purposes and piggyback the fig pie with the grain soup for that back half hour. So the sweet fig pie, I'm not really sure what the that's sweet fig pie, and that's let's see if I want the regular pie. This fig pie, so that's our 3%, and then the sweet fig pie. Oh, it's just a longer duration. So the sweet fig pie it lasts longer. It doesn't give you a better buff. It just lasts longer, which I guess is okay. I mean, whatever. I mean, you're going to make enough of these things. And what I'm hoping to do, is be able to trade these. I'm hoping these are trade. I'm going to assume that these are tradable items because it's a food, right? So I'm thinking the next time my guild has a gathering mission, I can load people up with a bunch of these fig pies because it's to our best interest. If we're gathering stones or trees or whatever and they have access to the fig pie, that's 3% RNG better chances. You know what I mean? Well, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any comments or questions, please include them in the section underneath this video, and I will take them into account. I'll read them. And any future videos I make, I will probably incorporate whatever people have given me, because it could be other things that people are using for gathering buffs or different types of food. I like to hear from you of what you're using. I use this. Fig pie seems to work. So let's give it one last look here on the website here. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone.